evening, friends. Globally, everything had stopped. Projects got delayed, workplaces closed, and schools shut down. The world seemed to have ground to a halt because of the novel coronavirus. Starting December 2019, continued through the year 2020, 2021, and half of 2022, the education system has faced up an unprecedented health crisis, that is COVID-19 pandemic happened. That shook up its foundation, and even till date, many more stains of this virus to the monkeypox is still around. Various governments across the globe launched a crisis response to mitigate adverse impact of the pandemic on education. Given today's uncertainties, it's vital to gain a nuanced understanding of the students' online learning experience in time of COVID-19 pandemic. The greatest challenge was linked to the learning environment at home, while the least challenge was technological literacy and competency. High school helps teach students to research, listen, collaborate, lead, to be creative and innovative, and put forth consistent and prolonged time, effort, and hard work into activities, classes, and subjects that matter. But what happened to it when the education went online in such an important and crucial stage of learning? Manthan With Saraswathi has been in conversation with various personalities from varied fields of medicine, education, social service, edupreneurs, entrepreneurs, PhD scholars, participated, and recently I wound up the series called Be the CEO of Your Life. And now, welcome to the Rising Falcons. Manthan With Saraswathi is in conversation with the amazing students who stood tall and endured the odds and hardship during their important phase of school life. Let's learn how they faced the challenge during the pandemic and the specific strategies that students employed to overcome them. Today, we have Shambhavi with us to share her unique experience during the 2 years of her online learning. Welcome to Manthan With Saraswathi, Shambhavi.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Before we begin, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience.
So my name is Shambhavi Sahay and I recently graduated from high school. Like everyone else, my last 2 years were online, which wasn't a challenge academically and emotionally, but I think we've all gone through that and we've made our way to kind of adapt to it, and everyone had their own techniques for that. So I think that's what we're discussing.
Wonderful, wonderful. So talking about the online, learning, it was a great challenge. We all know that. But what was your fondest memory of high school?
Overall, high school, I think fondest would be some from the offline times, especially during IGCSEs when we used to go crazy revising. And like in between those, we used to have a lot of fun because we would get less time for enjoying. So we would make the best out of them. Compared to the years like grade 11, we didn't have as much as exams. We were more chill, but then it wasn't as memorable because it wasn't in between of all the stress. That was fun. And in terms of online, I think every online class was unique. Someone's sleeping, someone's missing. All of that is just funny. And yeah.
We've had so many guests on the show, and most of them have had these funny moments or these online classes. So, we will come back to that later. But then, it was tough. It was not easy, right? You faced challenges, and to overcome the challenges, you would have definitely, as a team, as a group of friends, you would have supported each other, right? So how did you support your classmates during these online classes?
I think majorly what we did was just keeping in touch with everyone, because in online communication was really disrupted. Even the smallest things like whispering to the person beside you when you're still listening to the teacher, but we used to have small like just asking like what did the teacher just say, or sometimes gossiping. Those things weren't happening. Like we could chat, but it wasn't as effective as talking. So like especially at the start, me and my closer friends, we used to call almost every night and just discuss about the randomest things, even like I forgot to say good morning, or just the smallest thing that we would know that's happening. But then because classes were also split, we started grade 11, we got split into science and business. So I wasn't with my friends. So like just daily reporting, more of just communication. And I think just mainly communication, like common subjects we used to help each other with homeworks because we used to get stuck.
Good, good, good. See, this support system is really required, and I think the adversity has taught you to keep the communication, on between the friends, because that sometimes those conversations can motivate you and make you achieve something which you never thought you would otherwise do, right? So we have discussed about online classes all through that. I mean, it has been a topic of the town. Okay, tell me briefly about the benefits of the classes, online classes for the students.
I've come to a point where I realized what the benefits were.
Okay.
So I think one really small, but this has been really helpful for me. Commute time had reduced. Although for me it wasn't particularly very long. Like I know people who used to travel like more than an hour. Mine was max 30 minutes. But I could wake up later. That also means I was sleeping more, but more of that I would wake up fresher and I would concentrate more in class. And this one particular problem with me, I would be fully motivated by the last class, and by the time I'm home, I just want food and I'm not studying. But during online classes, I would finish my class, do my homework first, and then maybe do whatever I was doing. And I think another thing was, now this wouldn't be true for everyone, but my study environment was thankfully very silent and I was able to focus. Initially that was not happening, but like over the time I did adapt to it. And because I had my own space, it was more personalized. There were no shouting boys in my room and then what happened in the class, I was able to focus more. And like I'm a bit slightly anxious in class now. In offline class I would never dare ask a question. I would ask my teachers after class. In online I wouldn't be as anxious. I was okay hosting events much more comfortably than on offline. So I think there was more ease from my side. Now because I was asking more, I was understanding better, and that showed in my results. So I think this particular point really helped me.
Okay. Then you say that in offline classes you would take some time to ask questions, but online was very comfortable for you. What did you realize, what did you understand about yourself here?
I think mainly I just realized there wasn't ever an issue asking in offline either. I was just stopping myself. And once I started asking in online, recently we started offline classes and we hosted offline events also. I was completely cool with it because
Okay.
I don't know what was stopping me, but online classes just started that, spur of speaking, and now I'm okay with
So
it.
that brought in that energy and that confidence that
Yeah.
you can ask questions. Wonderful, wonderful, Shambhavi. So online classes were happening. I mean, do you have some embarrassing or funny moments that you experience in these 2 years of online learning?
There's this one thing, this never happened since this first day. I was always scared that I would fall off my chair. I have no idea why. I never did. And like sometimes in class, I would just start thinking that what if I fall down? The problem is not that I would fall down. The problem is how would I leave the class after that? Because I'd be laughing. And thinking about that, sometimes I used to like kind of slip from my chair and just laugh about it, because it's not something that happened. It's completely hypothetical. But this is something I always remember about all the online classes times, because I have no idea how I thought of that. But I just somehow know that I was able to fall off that chair, and I never did. And apart from that, like everyone else, I forgot to turn off my mic. I've turned it on the wrong time, forgot to turn my camera off before eating. Those things kept happening. But gone to the wrong class, this has happened a lot. Like I'm
Okay.
suddenly going from economics to biology, and like what just happened? So, uh,
So these are some experiences which you would remember in your lifetime, right? Now that everybody is going to experience what you're doing, Shambhavi, see, this is what your batch is so unique, that what you guys underwent, we never underwent anything like that. I'm not sure about the future, but then, yeah, this is something very unique. So I can imagine, you suddenly getting into a biology class and say, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm very nice, very nice. Okay, if I have to ask you a question, saying that if you had to go back to 2 years from now, like, okay, you've had your about 2.5 years of online classes, but if you have to go back to them again, what would be different? What approach would be different?
I think in terms of studying, because if I would be knowing that this is going to go on for 2 years, I'd be like maybe 10% more serious in class. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was slightly more serious, and that would give me more free time afterwards. Because, like, particularly for me, throughout these, I had been giving exams all sessions because I took some early and those things. And because of that, I wasn't studying 24/7, but I was still studying for an exam throughout. If I
Mm-hmm.
had known that this is going to go for 2 years, I would still study, but I would have been a little more chill. And because, like, the last time I went to school was in grade 10, and now I'm graduated. So
Yeah.
I guess more of the friendship part I would have focused on, because now we're not meeting as much, and like everyone's leaving now. So that's just, like, yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
weird now.
You're going to Glasgow, you're going to go far away from the place where you are. If you were given a choice to opt between, say, online and offline classes, what would your preference be?
I would still prefer offline, I think, although the distance part and being close to home is still something I'd like.
Mm,
But for a more better experience, I think offline would be better because, firstly, I don't know anyone there.
mm,
And socializing is just not the same online.
mm,
Like, I've made friends through competitions online, but I'm not close to any of them as much as maybe even someone I've met once offline, because
mhm,
there's the physical interaction, you're seeing them face to face, which doesn't happen, it's just not that personal online.
mhm.
And like, this is a whole matter of 3-4 years, and probably like going to be friends still afterwards, and staying at home wouldn't give me that same experience. Plus I would be in the whole mode of school and not really in university, so I need a whole change to like get it in my mind.
I think it'll be a new start for you to meeting up people and getting to know people and getting to know the lifestyle and change things which didn't happen for 2 years for you guys. And, getting into college and university is going to be something we all should be looking forward and having offline classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you believe. Okay, now moving on to our section. Like, I will just ask you questions and you can say one liners, or if you wish to elaborate on that, you can please do that, right? You can do that. So, have you ever volunteered in your community?
Yeah, I've been active in community service. I've been part of our school's intra club. This last term, I served as vice president. Competitions, I've done a lot in online school, not talking about that. And I'm also part of finance division of Bye Bye Plastic Bag Surabaya. So we work against plastic bag usage and like cleanups. And so, yes, I've been active in community
Right, right.
service.
Wonderful. What would you rather throw away? Friend or online games?
Online games, because I wouldn't trade my friends for online games in any way, and I don't play games either. So, in any condition, friends, I'm not throwing away friends.
I'm really surprised. Like, I've had so many guests, and everybody in this question says that they have not touched online games or they're not interested in online games. But the whole world seems to be talking about online games. And what makes it different, Shambhavi?
I just never played. Like, yes, when I was little, I used to play a few games, but as
Mhm,
I grew older, it was just never a thing.
mhm,
And I think it was more of like, you got to be diligent. You're not playing slightly at the starting, it was that, and then I just never got used to games. So
mhm,
like, and plus I know that now if I start, I'm going to be really invested in it, and then my
mhm.
studies are gonna get
Good.
lost. So I need to prioritize studies right now.
Okay. Okay. What is the most used app on your phone?
Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube. That's
Instagram,
always
WhatsApp, and
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, I think that's a common answer everybody has given. Okay, how do you usually spend your weekends?
I don't usually have like a set weekend plan. I'm not partying. Sometimes I'm finishing assignments. Sometimes I'm going to the mall. Sometimes I'm sleeping in. Just goes wild every weekend.
Which activities in online classroom did you enjoy the most?
And online, oh, we used to do quizzes on Kahoot and these things. Now
Mm-hmm.
they were really intimidating, but also really fun because like it's the whole vibe of the class would be I want to be first, I want to be first. So that would also motivate to study. So those have been fun. And in even 8 a.m. classes, they're a whole different thing. Everyone's sleepy and like that class is unique. So these two things I'm not gonna forget.
So there you are going to continue with these some lovely moments which you have had, and you know, which you will cherish through your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are your special people in your life?
Special people. I mean, obviously my parents, and with the whole graduation season around teachers, I've been in the same school throughout. So all my teachers really contribute to whoever I am now. So
Mm.
yeah, teachers play a really, really important role into every high schooler at this point, especially after online school. Because
Mm.
like we could have been really bad after like if our teachers weren't as good.
Great, great. So what's your favorite TV show, Shambhavi?
I don't really watch TV shows. Like I would probably just watch viral clips somewhere, but I haven't watched Friends or Office, so like out of that right now.
Unlike other young girls, no friends
No.
on Netflix. Okay, great. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever said or done in front of someone you liked?
I keep doing embarrassing stuff. Like me and this one my close friend, we fall in front of the class randomly. Nothing slippery, we'd fall, we'd scream. But I think this particular time in ninth grade, I cried in front of my physics teacher after a math test. I didn't even score low. And this teacher was new at that time. I was trying to impress her because, okay, my academics were good, but I wanted to be that diligent student because, like, I really respect that teacher. She's still one of my favorites. And
Uh-huh.
I cried in the first semester after a test, and I was so embarrassed. Worst thing is she was my homeroom and she saw my report card and I got like above 90.
Hmm.
She's like, why were you even crying for a 3 mark question?
Uh,
And then like I don't, it's really silly, but I found it really embarrassing back then.
but why did you really cry for the 3 marks? I mean, was
I
it for
missed
three
a
marks?
question. Like, yeah, it's just 3 marks. Usually, like, even if I can't do it, I try to attempt something.
Hmm.
And that question, I completely blanked out. I was like, I just don't know what's going on here. I spent the last 30 minutes on that question. I was done early with everything else, with revising also. And 30 minutes, I couldn't do anything. And everyone had done that question. And, after paper, we're discussing. That
Yeah.
question wasn't that hard. It
Yeah.
was really simple. And I just somehow blanked out.
Yes.
So,
It
yeah.
happens. It sometimes it happens, and I think
Yeah.
it just you've learned to accept it and just go on. Okay, what is the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Haven't learned a lot yet. Still a lot of learning
Of
left.
course, life, each and
But
every see in life, you never say that you are the most learned or you've learned everything. Life goes on. So whatever
yeah,
you have gone through till now.
especially with the last 2 years and a few of the points that I said earlier,
Mhm.
just keeping in touch with people, I think is really important.
Mhm.
Exams are gonna come and go, applications are gonna happen. Those things are not stopping. But if I'm not keeping in touch with my friends, I'm going to be alone thinking about why I didn't do this or that one random day. So
Yeah.
like just even if I'm talking to them once a month, which did happen in one point of time because we were busy, but we still talked.
Mm.
And there's some fallback people that I have, like when I have nothing or when I'm really confused, there's a whole group of people I can talk to,
Mhm.
and then just they can help me like move forward with stuff. I think just yeah, that.
That's great. That's great. Shamavi, we almost reached the last, and how time flew away, I don't know. It was wonderful talking to you. So, I would like to end the show with an amazing thought of Johannes Salk. Hope lies in dreams, in imagination, and in courage of those who dare to make dreams into reality. Friends, ponder over this and enjoy the weekend. Once again, I want to thank Shambhavi for taking her time out and sharing her online school experience with us.
Thank you for having me.
And I really want to thank Mr. Suresh for helping me bring this talk show to you all. Kindly like the page Manthan with Saraswathi. And this is Saraswathi saying bye bye and thank you for watching.
Thank you for having me.